Hi everybody, it's Dee Slater with Create with Dee. Welcome to my channel. Whether you're watching me on Facebook or on YouTube, welcome. I am always excited to be here with you Thursdays over lunchtime. And I have a corner tuck card today that we're going to make, and I'll show you some alternative colors and everything at the end. So as you're coming on, if you'd like to say hello and where you're from, I'm from Northeast Indiana in a city called Kendallville that's around Fort Wayne, Indiana. So if you're in the area and would like to ever take classes with me, please reach out. Otherwise, enjoy this free class here today. And again, I hope that you're enjoying it. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to be making this corner tuck card. And it's going to be featuring the online exclusives, which simply means that it's not in a catalog. It's the Frosted Forest bundle. Before we get going on that, I've got a couple of announcements and things to keep you in the know. One is that for all of you that earned bonus day coupons in July, that you have this entire month to redeem those coupons. So of course you were instructed when you received the coupon code to hang on to that coupon code, because then the next time that you order here this month with me, you just simply copy and paste that coupon code and you get to redeem your $5. Now, if you've received multiple codes, you don't have to do one per order. You can do them all on the same order. So just to let you know, and there's no minimum amount that you have to order to redeem it other than $5, right? So this is a month to redeem it. Also, Stampin Up announced that come on August 6th that there's going to be 15% off on selected designer series paper that will go through the end of the month. So again, if you've got that coupon and you think that you might want to take advantage of the extra savings, that you may want to wait till August 6th before you go forward with any orders that you have. So all of these papers and more things will be on there. And if you're on my newsletter, you'll be getting some information on this later on today. Also, I thought I would just take a quick minute here and invite anybody who's interested to join the Stampin' Up family and join my team, the Beautiful Stampers, and kind of wanting to say that August 6th is a magical date in the fact that if you hold off on joining Stampin' Up until August 6th, you can also put on your starter kit the pre-order. So you can actually order from the holiday catalog. So on August 6th, us demonstrators can do a little pre-order for the upcoming holiday catalog. So it's a great perk. Okay, so those were the announcements that I wanted to go ahead and share with you. And let me go ahead and bring back our project that we're going to have today. I'll turn the camera around and we'll get started making this corner tuck card. Okay, so this is, again, a corner tuck card, because in the corner here, you're going to be tucking in the element, and it kind of keeps this little flap here down. Also, I'm going to be using the Frosted Forest bundle here today that also uses the mask. Now, you had seen me use Mask on Layer of Beauty, and like I said, I'm just kind of really into the mask right now of how lovely and easily it can add color with just using our inks. And you might notice that I've got a little glimmer action going on here too. So let's go ahead and we'll get started making this card. Get all of my goodies out. My goodness gracious. Oh, right here in front of me. Alrighty, so what we're going to need here today is, for our card base, we need to start out with a piece of cardstock. I'm using Wild Wheat. It's 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. And I've gone ahead, if you want to think of it this way, then I've scored it at 5 1/2. That way, when this flap folds over, we have our traditional card base of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm going to go ahead and get that burnished really well. Also for the inside, we're going to need a layering piece for the inside of basic white, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Going to need another piece of wild wheat. This is cut at 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And what you may have noticed is that if you go ahead and start with a half a sheet of cardstock at 4 1/4 by 11, you can cut it at your 8 1/4, and then you'll actually use that piece. So that's how that piece was created. Also using some of the designer paper. This is Country Wood. And as I mentioned there at the beginning, that's actually going to be on sale for 15% off starting August 6th. So on August 6th, this Country Woods paper will be 15% off. Also going to need, and this is what makes the corner element here, going to need a square of our winter wheat cut at 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, and our designer paper cut at 2 by 2. All right, so that's everything that we need for the card base itself. So why don't we go ahead and put that down, and we'll get a couple of our pieces. We can get those off of our plate here. So we'll go ahead. I'm using liquid glue. Oh, the designer paper, I didn't tell you what these were. These are cut at 2 1/2 by 4. I'll have all of the measurements for my newsletter, folks, on this, or you can watch the replay. All right, that is stuck. I was doing all sorts of gluing yesterday, and I came in today and I did not have my cap on my glue. I walked home or went home yesterday and did not have my cap on it. Well, it must be, there we go. Ugh. I knew that was going to pop out. I'm going to take that smudgy smudge that I have here. I'm going to actually put a little bit on the back side of this one. Okay. Now that I got my glue started. Okay. So this panel is going to go here. And our other piece of 2 1/2 by 4 piece of designer paper, again, I'm using Country Woods, is going to go on our separate piece of wild wheat. And that again is cut at 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. So wild wheat is one of the colors that's in that designer paper. All right, so I'm going to set that aside for now. Let's go ahead and we're going to make our trees. So for this card, I'm using the Frosted Forest. I'm going to use the evergreen tree images here. And so I've got those loaded up. And what I found is that I really like this copper clay as the trunk or the background image for the stamps, for the trees. I think it kind of, what I want to say, you could use any of the brown tones, but I kind of just really liked the look of this copper clay. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on a piece of scrap basic white. And we'll just kind of put that one off to the side here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to be using the decorative masks that come in this bundle, or you can purchase it separately. And you get the mask for both the tree and the evergreens. And today we're going to do the evergreens. Oops, let me get my, there we go. So Stampin' Up, and this is, if you watch my Layers of Beauty video, this is the same thing. They have, since there's 2 different images, they've got things marked 1, 2, 3 for the fall tree, and then they have the evergreens marked A, B, C. So you just go ahead and read the letters up here at the top, A, B, C, and then that's the order that you go ahead and do the masking on. So for the first layer, I'm going to use Old Olive. Actually, for the first 2 layers on here, let me put my cap back on. And I've got my blending brush. You can use sponges, sponge daubers, whatever that you would like to apply your ink. And as you can see, that lined up there with the stamped images. So I'm going to pick up some ink. And this first one is our background. So you can go, I don't want to say light, but you know, you don't have to add a lot of color. This is our background. Okay, so there's that one. So easy. Look how easy it is to color using these masks. And then I'm just going to pick it up and shift it over to my small evergreen, line it up. You can see how that looks. And again, I'm going to just rub some of the ink over that on the first one. So let me just show that a little more detail. Kind of put, so that's number 1. Okay, so, or I should say A. So then here's B, and the same thing, just kind of match up some of the stamped images. Some of the images will kind of fall not 100% lined up, but that's going to give us the depth. You can go 3 different colors. You can go as many colors as what you want. With these, I'm just going to go ahead and do now another olive, Old Olive on it. So what this is going to do is it'll ink over any of the overlapping exposures on the mask and darken that up. And if I wanted to, I could even like really hit it a little hard. And so just by doing that, I'll kind of show that again. See how that added that tone to it? Okay, so we'll go ahead and get our smaller evergreen and do the same thing. Kind of get that lined up. Always have to turn this one just a little bit to kind of get it going. Right, let's do that. Again, I'm kind of picking up ink in the corner where my stamps normally don't get to. There's a lot of ink there in the corner. All right, kind of show how that one looks. Okay, and now our third and final color, because there's just A, B, or I shouldn't say color, but the mask, because there's 3 of them here. I'm going to use Mossy Meadow. My ink pad, my full ink pad got a little bit destroyed, and so luckily I had some Stampin' spots from my paper pumpkins that I was able to pull out and use as a backup. Okay, so I'm just kind of lining up that top. So if you have spots, Stampin' spots, you know, feel free to get those out and use them. There's a good way of using them beyond your paper pumpkins. Okay, so this is really just the highlight for the darkened image. I'll show that when I get this one done too. So let me get that lined up. And so again, this is the darker Mossy Meadow. Okay, so there are our trees. Now I'm going to go off camera here just a second and grab the die cutting machine. All right, so these are some of the images that come with the bundle. And I'll go ahead and get those taped off. And I'm going to die cut these at the same time. So again, line this up. And I purposely left a lot of space in between because I'll show you why here in just a second. So I'm going to run these through the die cutting machine. So hang with me. I'm going to do it off camera. Alrighty, so got our tree image there. That one kind of shifted on me just a little bit, but that's going to be just fine. Okay, and I'm going to hang on to this. So again, this first part of this video is all about masking. Okay, so we've got our trees. Now I can set those off to the side. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and decorate the inside of our card. And I'll kind of just show you this. As you can see here, I've got a tree outline. And I got that by when I die cut this, I'm using this as another mask. And I'm just going to take the ink that's left over on my my blending brush. Oops, let me flip that over. That kind of moved on me here just a second. You could, there we go. And I just want to have the look of that tree on the inside. Okay, so there's my inside tree image. All right, let's do some other stamping. So I have, let me show you that. So I wanted to make more of a holiday card, and although I love the sentiments that are in this one, they're not really holiday. And so just look through some of your other stamp sets you have. I've got sparkling snowflakes, and I'm going to be using the winter greetings and make the season sparkle. So on the inside, I'm going to take my wild wheat. It's going to match back to the card base and stamp right in the middle of that tree that we did, make the season sparkle. Okay, so we have that. And while I've got the ink out, let's see here. Double check and see if I've got this. Nope, I need to die cut a tag real quick. I'm using deckled rectangles, and I'm using the smallest of the rectangles for the label. So let me go and do that real super fast. Bullet, please. I always think I have everything ready to go, and I've even double checked it, but I guess I need to start triple checking it. Goodness. Okay. So with the smallest of the rectangles from Deckled Rectangle, I'm going to stamp again in wild wheat our winter greetings. Okay, there we go. Awesome. All right, we're ready to start putting the rest of our card here together. All right, so this is going to be for the inside of our card. And we are definitely going to add some sparkle to this card. Now for the corner part of our corner tuck, what we'll do is we'll take our square pieces, take them to the trimmer, and we're going to cut them, both of the cardstock square and the designer paper square. Again, this is 2 1/4 square and 2-inch square. Going to go ahead and cut that at the diagonal and get something that looks like this. So again, just taking that, cutting it at the diagonal, and we'll get our corner piece. So let's go ahead and we'll get that glued down. And then we're going to make this triangle corner piece go into the corner of our card base, and this is where the corner tuck element comes in. Okay, so we get that. And I like to take mini dimensionals to put this down. You are more than welcome to use regular size dimensionals and maybe cut them down to size a little bit, but the mini dimensionals I think work perfectly for this. We want to put them on 3 sides that kind of form the right angle. Do not put any here in the diagonal because this is where the tuck element has to go. So I'm just putting these minis like so. And then we'll get the backing put off of it. This is such a fun fold. Starts out with the same half a piece of cardstock that we normally have, but then we can just cut part of the front of it off and use it in another way. Okay, so this is our tuck element. I do like to put the corner down first. That way our other piece that we have, you can kind of stage it how you'd like it to make sure that that corner goes in there. I want to put adhesive on about half of the back side here. And then again, you can kind of line this up and we'll put that down. So that's the corner tuck element. It keeps that flap nice and secure. I'm going to let that rest for just a second. Now what I want to do, you guys aren't going to believe what I'm going to do, but I have pulled out, and I wanted to add some sparkle to the leaves of the tree. And I'm actually going to pull out our old Dazzling Diamonds. Do you guys remember Dazzling Diamonds from back in the day? I think that's been retired now for a good 3, if not 4 years, but I still love my Dazzling Diamonds. You can get any type of glitter that you want. If you happen to have your Dazzling Diamonds still, you can get out that, and let's have some fun using glitter on our card. I'm also going to be using the 2-way glue pen here. This is, you can find 2-way glue pens, you know, online, just like you can the glitter. Stampin' Up! Used to sell them, and I've got some of mine that I'm going to go ahead and use. You can also use the fine tip glue pen. You can use Tombow, but these like more liquidy adhesive really is nice for that. So I'm just adding some liquid glue. I'm going to go ahead and do both. I think we ought to start a campaign where we ask Stampin' Up! To bring us Dazzling Diamonds back. So I'm going to take this little, oops, put it off here, and got my Dazzling Diamonds in a Tupperware. Sprinkle them on, tap it off. Okay. So pretty. Love it. Hi, Janet. Love Dazzling Diamonds. I know we all have glitter around on here. I know right now that Stampin' Up! Does not, you know, have it in their store, but we all probably have some diamond or some glitter in our stash. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Okay, so we've got those. So now we can go ahead and do all of our elements here. Let's bring back the sample card. So if you notice, I've got the smaller evergreen kind of tucked in behind. So I'm going to do that first. And go ahead and just add liquid glue on the back of that. So to position this, you can kind of think of, here's the, you know, the front fold over. You can line it up just about on the edge of that. And then for our tree, our larger tree, I'm going to add dimensionals to all the back of it. And these are regular size dimensionals. So go ahead and I can do 3, maybe 4 of them. Give it a nice base. You could also use gold flakes to put on there if you have the gold leafing. That would be pretty to add a little sparkle on it. In the past, we've had some puff snow. That would be pretty. And then this one's going to go here. Love it. And then our greeting is going to go right over the top of it. So we'll get 2 dimensionals for that. Do that. Hi, Linda. Thanks for saying hi. Alrighty. And then for the inside, since it says, you know, make this season sparkle, and take our Wink of Stella, and you can put Wink of Stella on the tree limbs too. But I'm going to have, when they open up, just to have a little sparkle on the inside. And to kind of catch the light even more, because like I said, I've got the whole winter greetings, make the season sparkle. I'm using the adhesive backed sequence trios, and I'm using the clear ones. And, you know, just adding 3 of them. You could add as many as you want, but then again, it really just kind of sparkles. I hope that's picking up on camera how sparkly that is. Okay, so that's our card here. Our class today is the corner tuck card, but I also wanted to share with you how you can use the frosted forest and the masking to create these beautiful trees. And let me just show you some of the alternatives that I did. So here's one with the blue theme on it. So I had asked a couple of my friends, I'm like, what's your favorite color? And one of them said pool party. And so I used pool party as the basis for that. And as you can see, all I did was turn it in the other orientation and made this kind of ice blue. And since I was going long ways, I used the larger tree when I did the mask on it. So there's that one. And as you can see, you know, you don't have to go, you can play around with which corner that you use. And here's another one. Since I did the baby blue, I thought I'd do a pink tone. And again, you don't always have to use the bottom corner. Here I use the top corner. And, you know, again, there's that. Still staying with pretty much the same layout, just kind of different orientations, and to have fun with the different color trees. And just in case you were curious, here's what like a fall tree could be in the other image. We did this, I did this with my team last month. And so again, using that same decorative mask, they've got a mask for the tree. All right, let me turn the camera around. Well, I hope so much that you enjoyed seeing how to use the frosted forest and how to use the decorative mask to get gorgeous layers on these trees without using blends or markers. We can just use our inks. And also to just kind of remind about this layout, it's again called like the corner tuck card because you're tucking it into the corner. Great way of making some of these wintry cards for our upcoming season. And I appreciate you being here and watching either live or the replay. If you liked anything in this video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, a heart. And if there's somebody that you think might like it, please share it. If you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook. And if there's anything that I can help you with, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and I'll do my best to take care of you right away. All right, everybody, have a great Thursday and happy crafting. Bye-bye.